Hi, and welcome to Introduction to Disability Studies. My name is Ashley Cartel-Johnson. I prefer to go by Ashley. I hope that your semester is off to a great start and that your first week of classes is going well so far. I wanted to take a few minutes to orient you to the class. I thought I'd share my contact information and then go into the details of the class. All right, I have listed here my cell phone number. I don't mind if you have an emergency or need an immediate response from me. If you send me a text or in an emergency situation, give me a call. I want to make sure that I'm accessible to students, and I know that that can be tricky as we're not seeing each other in person every week for class. I have my email address listed here. Please be sure to use DST 272 in the subject line. I coordinate our special ed program, I coordinate our disability studies program, and I get a lot of emails every day. And so helping me by listing our course number in the subject line will ensure that I can get you the most timely response possible. I have my office hours listed here. I have in-person office hours on Monday afternoons, and then I have virtual office hours late Wednesday morning. I would love for you to pop in at any point to introduce yourself, either in person or virtually. All right, we have one required text for this term, and that is My Body Politic. It's a personal memoir by disability activist and scholar Simi Linton. I think you'll really enjoy this. You'll get to know Simi Linton in week one. We will read some of her work and also watch a documentary that she produced about her life story. It's called Invitation to Dance. All right. So disability studies is an opportunity for us to explore theoretical frameworks and societal practices that shape the experiences of the disability community in our country. And so throughout time, we have, as a society, framed disability as something that is individually based, a pathology, something that needs curing. In disability studies, we completely flip that over, change that paradigm, and we explore disability through social lenses. And so in this class, we're not going to be learning about disability per se, but rather the lived experience and the social constructions of disability. We're really going to focus on the disability rights movement and then transition into learning about the disability justice movement. We will focus a lot in this class on disability justice, disability pride, and access. All right, I will let you read through the course objectives, but one is important that I want to highlight, and that is students will develop, implement an action plan to bring the knowledge that you've gained throughout the term to your broader community in an effort to move toward more just and accessible practices in solidarity with the disability community, both on campus and in our community. I'm going to describe that in more detail, but the main takeaway is that this class you will learn a lot about the disability community and disability justice and disability studies, but you'll also engage in an action project. So you'll get to do something with what you're learning. All right, so that's a little bit about the course and what we're going to learn. Let me talk with you about the structure for grading this class. I want for this to be a bit of a departure from your typical experience at Miami where you earn points for everything that you do. For me, what is most important is not the points that you earn for your assignments, but what you learn. I want for you to really focus on reflecting, applying, and engaging in the material each week. It's not important to me that you can recite back what you've learned in a test or a quiz or an essay, but rather that you can go through each week and all of the content, really sit with that material, reflect on it, and then share with me what you've learned. That's all I'm looking for this term. All right, so let me share this in a bit more detail. So it's focused really on your learning and reflection on the key concepts in disability studies. We'll engage in assignments through universally designed reflections, and you will earn a grade with a complete or an incomplete score instead of a traditional point value score like an 80%. You're going to either get a check or you're going to get an X for each assignment that you submit. So my hope is that you can really focus on your engagement in the class, really focus on your learning, and let go of sort of the traditional goal of earning points for everything that you do. So that means that because I'm more focused on your learning than one snapshot of how you, what score you earn on an assignment, I want to give you feedback. I want for you to be able to resubmit any work. Okay, so everything is sort of a work in progress. I want you to absolutely do your best, but I will support you and give you lots of feedback on your assignments and give you opportunities to resubmit any of your work until you earn a complete. All right. It's also important to know that certain assignments are weighted more heavily. And so you have weekly assignments that are worth 10 points each, and then you have bigger assignments that are worth closer to 50 points. And so you're going to get a score of an X or a check for each assignment that you do, with as many opportunities to submit as you need. And then you will be given a point value for that assignment once you get a complete or an incomplete. I have the points so that you can ultimately see what your letter grade is for this class. I don't want for you to necessarily get hung up on the points. You will get full credit for a complete. And so if something is worth 50 points, if you get a check, then you've earned 50 points for that. If you get an X, you can resubmit until you get a check. All right, so I have our class broken down into 4 different types of assignments. And then I have a checklist for how you can earn an A, a B, a C, or if you're taking this class for credit, no credit, how you can earn credit for this class. To earn an A for the class, you will complete 10 weekly module assignments. So each week you're going to have, for 10 of the weeks, you're going to have a lot of content in each weekly overview. And so in that, I want for you to do 2 things each week. I want for you to review all of the content. It'll be a mix of readings and podcasts and documentaries, some YouTube videos. I want for you to review all of the content, and as you do so, to take lots of notes. You can do that in whatever way works best for your own learning style. And then each week you can choose 2 ways that you're going to show me what you've learned. And so I want for you to either do a shared reflection, so you can share your thoughts, your applications on a discussion board, or you can do an individual reflection where you're going to tell me everything that you've learned and how you're going to apply it to your life and to your future career. And so for 10 of those weeks, you're going to submit those 2 assignments. It is either an individual reflection or a shared reflection, not both. And then throughout the term, you'll have 4 application assignments. These are opportunities for you to apply what you've learned for the specific content that we've been focusing on. These are typically 2-page written reflections and opportunities for you just to do a deeper dive into the content. And then you will also engage in an action project. And so the action project, as I mentioned in that learning objective, is an opportunity for you to do something given the kind of new insight that you have around the disability community this term. And so those look wildly different for each student. It doesn't have to be a major project. Sometimes students take on really big projects. And so we've had students work with creating grants for more accessible technology to have in their classrooms here at Miami, specifically in McGuffey Hall. We've had students work in the community to create more accessible spaces. We've had students work with Oxford Council to work on making sure that we have universally designed spaces. And then we've also had students do more sort of individual-based projects where you're working on sharing what you've learned in this class with your peers or with your family. And so that could be something like an action project focused on a watch party. And so we've had students that have picked one of the documentaries from this class or a documentary that I approve and have hosted a watch party where you share the documentary with several people and then have a structured discussion to follow. You could do something similar with a podcast. I have a list of different books if you wanted to do a book club with others who are not in the class. This is really open to what you would like to do to say that you're leaving this class having contributed to creating greater access and justice for the disability community. We'll talk in more detail as we get closer to your action project. And then lastly, for the memoir that you're going to read, My Body Politic, you'll create a book reflection project. And so in that, once you're finished reading Simi's memoir, you will either write a reflective 4-page paper, or you can do more of a universally designed project just to share what you've learned about Simi's life and then how you're going to apply the key takeaways to your life in some way. So those are the 4 types of assignments that you're going to submit throughout the class. We don't have a midterm. We don't have a final. So to earn an A in this class, you'll complete all 10 of those weekly assignments. You'll complete the 4 application assignments. You'll earn a complete in your action project. And then you will do a 4-page paper or a comparable reflective project for My Body Politic. To earn a B, you will complete all of those things with the exception of your action project. To earn a B, based on the way that I have assigned points for all of the completes that you can earn, you would get an 80% if you do not complete the action project. So you would earn a B. We don't have pluses or minuses in this class. Then to earn a C, you would complete everything except for the application assignments and the action projects. Then you would earn a 70% for the class. If you were taking this class for credit, no credit, that's absolutely fine. Just please be sure to let me know early on in the semester that is your plan. And if you are just taking this class for credit, then you will need to complete those 10 weekly module assignments, both of your learning notes and the reflection each week. All right, you can find more details in the descriptions here, as well as in all of the assignments linked on your Canvas. All right, I want to be sure to say that I want this experience to be as accessible as possible. Please share with me any access needs that can help me in supporting you in this class. Whether or not you have formal accommodations through Student Disability Services or not, please let me know how I can make sure that this is an accessible and universally designed experience for you. All right, so the class is ready and open for you to pace yourself how you would like. And so we have 15 weekly modules. They are all open and available for you to start as early as you would like. I would like for you to each week be sure to go through this course through your module overview. And so each week I'd like for you to go into modules, go into your weekly overview. You'll have an introduction for the week. You'll have the specific course learning objectives that you'll meet throughout engaging in this module. And then you'll have a list of content that I'd like for you to review. Please go through these in sequential order if they're sort of scaffolded for you to engage in the content. And then you'll have a list of your activities for the week. And so this week is a little out of the ordinary. With it being week 1, you'll have a discussion activity. I would like for you to complete an overview quiz just to make sure you've reviewed the Canvas site, have watched obviously this video, and then reviewed the syllabus really closely. And then you will get started during week 1 in your learning module notes and your individual reflection or your shared reflection. So these are listed in the module overview. You can also find all of your assignments posted under the module itself. All right, let me jump into week 2 just to share with you, because this is going to be a more typical week. And so you'll have an introduction, your objectives, a list of your content from top to bottom. Make sure that you review the content in the order that I have it listed here. I have worked really hard to have a kind of a variety of media for you. There are some readings, there are a lot of podcasts and documentaries. That way you can, listen to podcasts on the, as you're, as it's convenient for you. Make sure that you give yourself time to watch documentaries. So at the beginning of the week, take a look at the content that I have posted. We will have more documentaries in the beginning of the class. You won't have as many at the end of the class when you're doing some of your bigger assignments. I've worked really hard to try to balance the content so that it takes about the same amount of time every week. As we learn the history of disability, it's a little bit more documentary heavy, so just be sure to start the beginning of the week by going in and looking at the content that you have so that you can pace yourself and make sure that you're giving yourself plenty of time. Okay, and then this will be consistent each week that you'll see that you submit your learning module notes and then either the individual or the shared reflection. All right, you will have time as you progress through the semester to work on your action project. And so starting with week 8, you will not have new content that week, but will rather have an opportunity to engage in your action project to start the first steps to progress with your work. If you are not doing the action project for this class, this is an opportunity then for you to work ahead. Everything is listed here, so you could work ahead with your My Body Politic book and paper project, but you'll have flexibility in those weeks. Okay, then when we come back from spring break, you will have your book reflection project. You'll have a final application assignment during the last week the last 2 weeks of class, and then you'll have another action project work week, and we'll finish your action project the last week of class. We will not meet during finals week. We will not have any required assignments during finals week. All right, and then the last thing that I want to be sure to say is that